This is part 4 of The Pawn. He was still sleeping soundly at 9 o'clock the next morning when Marius, his man, knocked on his door and awakened him. He opened his eyes to the sober mien of the young divinity student, who was working his way toward ordination by doing for Terry. Oh, excuse me, Marius, mustn't mention, what's the idea of waking me up in the middle of the night? And his master yawned. I'm sorry, sir, but there's a man downstairs who says he must see you. Must? Terry's eyebrows went up. Yes, sir, he says he's from headquarters. Terry was instantly awake. From headquarters. Is my bath ready? He inquired, and at Marius's assurance that it was, he was out of bed and on his way. Tell him I'll be down in 10 minutes. In less than 10 minutes, clad in bathrobe and slippers, he was facing his visitor, the typical headquarters detective, large, clumsy, a derby hat somewhat too small for him perched perilously on top of his big head, and the conventional stump of a cigar between his ill-formed and yellowed teeth. Just what can I do for you? Queried Terry. My man says you're from... I am, remarked his visitor from that corner of his mouth, not occupied in holding the unlit stump of what must once have been an extremely bad cigar, judging from the dead odor. Terry looked at him inquiringly. Name's Carton, said the visitor laconically. Do you know Mr. Grimm? You mean Martin Grimm, whose house is next to this one? Terry asked. The same. Do you know him? Yes. Why? Tell you soon enough. When'd you see him last? Late last night, replied Terry. I played chess with him. How late? It was after 1 when I left. Did anyone see you go? Asked the man from headquarters. Why, what difference can that began, Terry? A trifle out of patience at the meaningless, to him, catechism, and a bit on his dignity. Well, I'll tell you, Carton interrupted. Terry still speaking from the corner of his capacious mouth. It makes a lot of difference, see? Terry looked his unspoken inquiry, and the detective went on. The poor old bird was found dead this morning, said the detective. Dead, exclaimed Terry. Why, I just left him. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm asking you questions. What did you think this was? A guessing contest? Who's that? What can it be? Dead? Said Terry again. What from? The detective looked at him significantly and shifted the cigar stump from one side of his mouth to the other without touching it with his fingers. A facial feat of interest. He was murdered, he said, between 1 and 2 o'clock this morning. Murdered, that's what from. Terry's mind instantly reviewed the events of last night, which had for the moment been driven from his consciousness by the questioning of his unexpected visitor. Between 1 and 2 this morning. To be continued in part 5 of The Pawn. Hey there! Remember to subscribe to XOXO Gossip Lips for more future videos, packed with entertainments, knowledge, and funs. Give this video a thumb up and please share it with your friends and families too. Our catchy background tunes was originally composed by Pierre de Matique. Please consider to subscribe to his channel as well. Thank you for watching. Cheers!